This is all the good shit.
There's your intro right there.
Welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast with your hosts, Mike, JB, Chris, and Nick. Many thanks for listening in, liking, and subscribing. If you haven't done so, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button and turn on all notifications. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't joined the Discord or Patreon, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And most importantly, it's absolutely free to join. Now let's get into some crypto talk. What a huge day we got, man. I am pumped. But Nick, welcome back to the stream. How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's Christmas time, the time of illness. I think there's a lot going around. But otherwise, feeling tired and a little bit poorly. I'm doing all right. How about yourselves?
I'm doing good. Chris, how are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good. What you don't realize is how festive Nick is. Like,
Oh, I got a little bit of green in the back there.
yeah, a little bit of green, right? A little bit of red above the what do you call it? The YouTube plaque. And Nick, deep within, is filled with joy and festiveness.
Yeah.
It's so true. Like he was like, you know what, Chris, this morning, crack of dawn, I get this message and he says to me, we should do a Christmas quiz. And I said, when should we do it? He said, now. I said, we can't, it's too quick. We'll have to do it tomorrow.
A Christmas quiz. I mean, look, I'm excited for any Christmas quiz.
We're gonna do it in the Discord. It's gonna be amazeballs.
Amazeballs. All right,
Yeah.
JB, what's going on, brother?
All good here, brother. Just finished up work. That's me finished up for the festive period. So yeah, all good here. I've only got one Christmas present left to buy, which is unheard of for me. I'm usually a Christmas Eve shopper, but yeah, I've got everything done nice and early. Finished up for Christmas, time to relax and kill it on here. Got a few good things coming up here as well, which I'm seriously excited about. The quiz, I think that's going to be class. I'm looking forward to that. The podcasts, we've got a couple of special ones coming up. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, all good. All good.
Yeah, cool. Christmas special we're gonna do on Saturday, which should release. Chris, when will that one release? It will release on Christmas, yes?
Yeah, it'll be Christmas Day. I think we're gonna put it out on the main channel at 9 o'clock in the evening. I think it's the plan, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, I think that'll be the idea.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. Everyone's gonna be so joyous and happy because it's Christmas time and we're all so excited. I've still been buying presents. See, the problem that I had this year was I ended work so early this year that I had 3 weeks of doing nothing. And all I keep doing is finding stuff on Amazon and keep buying. So like this morning, I bought my parents a ring for their, doorbell. And then I'm like, oh, let's get the upgrades. Cause when you go on Amazon, it's like, hey, you can buy the doorbell, but then there's like 12 other things you can add to that doorbell. Yeah. I got suckered into all that shit. So,
I don't understand where you get the time between this, Call of Duty. Yeah,
and being the greatest dad on earth, right? Like I'm
yeah,
the greatest dad on earth.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know where I get the time either. But hey, look, we're here to talk about crypto. Stocks are absolutely getting demolished today. Dow's down about 720 points. Nasdaq's down about 3%. S&P hovering around that 3,800 level, which people are saying is kind of what Nick would call demand and support, or demand and supply and demand. I think we're probably going to lose 3,800 and then down to 3,200 we go, which would then bring Bitcoin down to, Nick, where are we thinking?
I'm hoping for the 13,200 would be nice. But anywhere really between kind of the 14,000 and 13,200 seems like a pretty reasonable area.
Are we buying Bitcoin at that number?
I am.
Some people are shaking their heads, and I'm buying a lot of cryptocurrencies, I think, at around that number. I'm not going to say it's Bitcoin specifically because I'm not overly that interested in Bitcoin. But yeah, there's going to be some purchases occurring, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we've already started. I've started deploying a little bit, especially into ADA. ADA, I'm all in, got my bag. Bags are packed, is what it is. If we go lower, see about adding. About to pick up some VeChain probably during this podcast itself. But yeah, look, we're excited for the lows. We've been calling the lows. Nick and Chris have been saying lower lows for forever, and it's all coming to fruition right now. There's really not anybody else that has navigated this market as well as those two have. And they're here in our presence? I know it's kind of weird saying those two. These guys.
I think, the cheeky crypto community have navigated this space impeccably.
Yeah, you know
So
what
far.
I would add to that? Like, I've been in many different Discords and there's just been nothing but panic. And you come into ours and it was just buzzing, like with like, oh my word, should I buy now? Like it's just been completely different. It's been really nice to see everybody just really well prepared.
Yeah, and I think
but
that's
off the back of the Elliott Wave course as well, we're seeing a lot of guys posting some massive trades coming up.
We've seen a lot
came
of
to
that today,
fruition
which is
fast.
it's really nice to see actually. People implementing what's been learned from that course, and to see those slips come through. It's really, really cool. It's encouraging.
How many ended up becoming a part of that Elliott Wave course, Nick? Is it over 100 people?
Yeah, it's well over.
It's well over that now. Yeah,
it's like 200 or so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got lots of traders going on. So is it safe to say the bull market comes to a close 2024, that we could potentially have the richest Discord in all of crypto? Because we actually navigated the space well, right? We're not listening to all the FUD and all the people saying that the bottom's already in and then we bought too high. So we're chilling. Everybody's kind of just chilling.
it's just
except for Mike. Mike never chills.
Speaking of the Discord, though, happy to say we ticked over 6,000 yesterday. So
wow,
the Discord's grown big. We had the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗧 NFT launch for the cheeky race suit. So we've seen a mass influx. And welcome to everybody there. I'm sure you're all watching. So, we're super happy to have you all here. Any questions, just fire them away. We're all here to help you guys.
Yeah, shout out to Chris and Nick on the launch. How did you guys feel about the minting process, and how did it come at it? Did you was it successful in your eyes, basically?
Oh, yeah, like I think it's definitely been successful. I mean, you just got to look at the landscape of the market right now to sell over 5,500 NFTs. Is a big deal, and I think seeing them on the secondary market's also been really positive, because people have obviously been trading them on the secondary market as well. I think it was the second highest volume the day of the minting. So yeah, really positive. It was a great experience seeing the back end through that minting process with 𝗕𝗪𝗪𝗪 and the team. It was interesting to see how many people are actually involved behind the scenes on mint day. Look, it was about a year in the making. So yeah, it was a good feeling seeing everybody sharing all of their NFTs, the different rarities that they got and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was cool. It was being posted. Some people even have it as their avatar, as their name, and really broadcasting their suits. I think there were some very rare ones that actually got that landed in some of our community's hands. Did you guys end up getting any of the super rare ones?
Yeah, I think we've both got like a full set, haven't we?
We've both got a full set. So that's really cool. So yeah, we've got one of each essentially.
That's
each.
cool.
So yeah, so that is pretty cool. And as you say, it's good to see a lot of other people in the community also kind of minting the mythic and the legendary suits as well. So yeah, lots of really cool things were happening. It was a really cool experience.
Yeah, and then on top of all that, we got our mystery boxes for the Bored Ape Golf Club that came through. What was that, 2 days ago? I think it was on the 20th that we got it, and then we should be able to get the reveal mid-January. I'm excited. I'm super pumped about that because I don't know. I'm excited about it. But you guys got one too, right? The three of you?
Yeah, we all got one. Yeah, like looking forward to it. It's got some decent utility.
Yeah, that's why I ended up getting involved when you showed it to me. I was like, oh, the utility behind it's pretty cool. I like the IP address aspect of it. I think is really unique. Very cool that you can actually earn royalties off of it, which I thought was super like fascinating to be able to just have the NFT and then say, what, Dior goes and use mine. I think that's freaking sweet. So I better get a rare one. Just saying.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I actually drove down to the manufacturer of our physical clothing range today to drop off one of the chips for them to go and design the implementation of it into the garment. So yeah, we're edging closer to
Oh,
a
that's
point
cool
where
as shit.
yeah, so you'll be able to tap your phone on the actual garment and authenticate it on the blockchain. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff that we're working on, and hopefully by February we'll be in a position to start taking orders for those.
Man, that's freaking sweet. So okay, so the four of us, we played some games the other night, right? How do we feel about Cheeky Crypto Gaming channel? I feel like it's just starting. Obviously, we got some kinks to work out. Nick, have we figured out the kinks that we were needing to get to make it run smoother yet?
I think so. JB's just installed some software. I wanted to get you in to install it, and Chris was struggling to install it, so we'll get that installed. And essentially, hopefully, that will prevent all those frames from dropping on the game and make it much smoother. So yeah, we've got that to test out, and then yeah, the gaming channel will be born. I think it's going to be super interesting, I think, to kind of see that kind of gaming aspect, because we won't just be Call of Duty. Obviously, we'll bring in _Copious Racing when that launches, right? And we'll have our race suits and we'll be racing each other or whatever in the _Copious game. And I think that's going to be really cool as well. But yeah, I had a good game on COD last night. So yeah, I think Cheeky Crypto Gaming, I think it's going to be good.
Yeah,
Nick absolutely killed it last night on COD. Don't downplay this. You absolutely smashed it on hardcore.
Well, hardcore is the only way to play it.
No, it's not the only way.
The only way to play it.
Oh my god, go ahead, Chris.
I'm kind of with Nick on that. Like,
no.
Like it gives me an opportunity when I actually shoot somebody, they actually die. Like, and I don't like, because otherwise, like, if I have to put more than 2 bullets in somebody, it's like I'm dead.
I mean, you either grow up on hardcore COD or you don't grow up on hardcore COD. So there's the hardcore community that play COD, and then there's the community that just plays regular COD. I just can't. The only reason I ever played hardcore was to do unlock camo challenges. So like if I needed headshots, it's just easier for me to just pop. Like, so JB, go ahead. I cut you off 5 times.
Just wanted to say we've also got a secret sniper in our midst. AK. I've played with AK, and wait till you guys see the sniper rifle.
She's a beast with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, she loves a sniper. Looking forward to seeing Festoon. I've not played the Festoon yet, but AK would want to watch for a sniper.
That's because Festoon stays in the charts. Like I can't even get that guy to respond to me and say hello. Like, hey, how's your life? How's things going? He's like, hey, I'm spinning too many plates right now. I can't talk. Like, okay, no worries.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the one thing that I think would be really cool with the gaming channel is purely going to be the fact that the community can actually take part as well. Like maybe we do some cheeky team versus the community, or get some of the community in the team and do some private games and stuff like that. I want to kind of keep it as interactive as possible. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I don't think there's many channels out there that like have, say, Copy or Sandbox or that sort of gameplay on their actual channels that people can actually see what they're investing in, right? Like for me, for instance, like I'm gonna try to buy some Sandbox maybe later today if it hits some certain targets, but I don't know a lot about Sandbox, right? Like I don't watch the game. I've seen it maybe displayed a couple times. You guys have done it in the Discord where 𝗕𝗪𝗠𝗠𝗠😗 has jumped in and started streaming it or whatever, but I think it's going to be really unique to be able to see those games actually played. I think that's what's going to be cool about it. And we'll have a channel that you guys can kind of check stuff out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say as well, we've had YouTubers reach out that want to jump in as well. So
yeah,
expect to see some other crypto YouTubers like playing on there with us as well. I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool to collab with some other people. So all right, let's get into a couple of news topics. JB, did you have something you want to touch on real quick?
Yeah, it was just one last thing. I think this is the next level integration. You don't see this anywhere. I mean, you go and watch standard YouTubers, that stream gaming. They don't have that level of interaction with the community. They play their games and they just talk to them on chat, whereas we're actually going to be talking to them in game, playing them in game. Yeah. I think this is next level. I think this is a winner, and I think big things are going to come off the back of this. I'm looking forward to it. It's just the start of this one.
Well, it's probably been 15 to 20 people in the member chat area that have already put their gamer tags out there. They're ready to they're ready to grind it out. So we might have to set up a private match where we just have a cheeky crypto community that's in a private match, and we all just play King of the Hill and see who the King of the Hill might be at the end of that.
That depends. Is it hardcore?
I was going to say,
I will still win, and maybe at the end of it, maybe we could have a prize of like 250 ADA, whoever wins.
Yeah,
and we should run that weekly.
The
then I could. Yes, race suit. Well, man, hey, that's something to think about, Chris. I got your brain working. I see it. I see your brain working on screen.
I mean, the reason why my brain is working, I was wondering if like you could get a gnome costume for Call of Duty.
I'm still waiting on my fucking gnome to show up at my house.
They're out of stock at the minute. I have to wait.
that one's gonna be hilarious.
I want to see it like on the side next to so it's in view for podcasts.
I have officially changed my gamer tag also to the gnome on Activision. So if anybody needs to find me, it's the fucking gnome. Okay.
You know what? When we go into these rooms for the game, that everybody's shaking in their boots. They're like, Jesus, it's the gnome. Like, yeah.
Anyways, now that I have a new nickname, which will probably end up being my like Twitch channel, I'll probably be known as the gnome until I'm fucking 75 now at this point.
Hey, it sticks. It works, you know?
Yeah, we need to give you guys a nickname eventually. But let's move on to some breaking news today. Let me pull up the article because I want to make sure I read it correctly. 2 top FTX fraud ringleaders plead guilty to federal charges. And that is, oh my God, of course I would screw this up. Late on Wednesday, December 21st, Caroline Ellison and Gary Wang pleaded guilty, according to the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Ellison was the former chief executive of Alameda Research, and Wang was a founder of the FTX exchange, and they pleaded guilty to charges of federal fraud. So, what is our thoughts, everyone? Nick, we will start with you.
Well, I think that they've probably cut themselves a deal here. It's kind of how it feels to me. And we kind of can speculate, I guess, as to what that might mean for Sam.
Chris, you want to chime in on that one?
Yeah, look, I've kind of been, I guess, a little bit outspoken on this to a point when it comes to Sam, but not the others. Yeah, blatantly got a deal. Seems like it would have been a good deal as well for them to basically plead guilty. But that I think is really, really bad for Sam. But I don't think Sam's gonna make it to be able to give any real details, because I think when he does, like, he's going to be throwing a lot of people in some very powerful positions under the bus. So yeah, look, we'll see what happens, but I just don't think that the guy's going to end up getting punished as such, if that makes sense. He'll be punished, but it'll be made out that, it was something it wasn't.
Yeah, because he's now officially in FBI custody. Was extradited on December 21st. It's funny that he gets extradited the same day that those two come out with pleading guilty to everything. Find that kind of fascinating. Yeah, this is shaping up to be quite a Netflix documentary. That's all I've got to say about that.
I was going to say, like, there is no talk about his parents either.
Just that they were going to offer, they wanted him to get some vegan, they asked them to get him some vegan dinners or some shit like that.
But they worked for FTX. And
well, they're in cahoots probably with a lot of high up people. It would be my understanding. Look, a lot of people got paid a lot of money, especially during election time. So yeah, it's gonna. I don't honestly, I don't even think we're gonna actually get the full story of everything. I don't think all of it's gonna come out. And I think you might be right, Chris. I don't think we're ever gonna hear another word from SBF. It would be. I don't think we'll ever hear another word. Maybe we will. Who knows?
I'll be shocked if we do.
JB, what's I see your brain turning, man. What's good? What are your thoughts on this?
I mean, first off the back, Chris spoke about SBF's parents, and we've seen the reports that there was an alleged $178 million worth of money moved to Sam's mother, and there's also the same amount of property and value in the Bahamas registered to Sam's mother. Doesn't take a mathematician to work out that 178 million moved to his mum's account, and then $178 million worth of property appears in his mother's name. You know, do the math here. You know what's going on. But moving over to Ellison and Wang. Now, Ellison's pled guilty to 7 different charges of defrauding customers and investors of FTX and Alameda. Now, as part of her plea deal, she was released on a $250,000 bond and is facing up to a maximum penalty of 110 years. So I don't think she's going to see that. I think we all know the reason why she's came forward and spoke out. We'll also see that Wang, who was the software, he coded the software for FTX to allow Alameda to move FTX customers' funds. I've not seen any numbers for what he faces or how many charges he faces, but there's serious, what would you call it here? Frauds.
Accusations, fraud. Yeah.
Serious things. Hell of a lot of time. So let's just take Ellison, for instance, here. She's facing an alleged 110 years in prison for 7 charges of fraud. What the hell is Sam going to face?
So the charges that came on both of them are the same charges that SBF has, essentially, correct?
No, they're independent charges. As far as I'm aware, they're independent charges to each of them. So they're standing up as individuals.
No. I mean the term, what the actual charge is, like charge of frauding customers and all that stuff. Like this, the charges are essentially the same. The 8 charges that SBF has is probably the same, but not 8, but 7 for, I don't know. We'll have to look into that, but I would assume they're all the same charges.
Well, yeah, it's saying that prosecutors, they've accused SBF of defrauding customers, investors, and lenders. So I think the lenders thing as well is going to, I think that's going to hit them a bit harder, because obviously that's going to go into more of a corporate structure, corporate investment. Do you know what I mean? I think that's going to go a lot deeper than just, I know it's horrible to say, but just customer investment. I think it's going to hit him a hell of a lot harder.
Yeah, well, and the one charge that was interesting to me was the one that had to do with the U.S. government. So I think it was defrauding the U.S. So I don't know. We'll have to look it up while we're on here. I don't know, JB, if you can find what charge that is. But because he had so much money going to political stuff, there was a major charge on him that had something to do with the election process. So of him basically giving money to all these politicians to help fund their what's the terminology I'm looking for? Help fund their what? Oh my God, help me with
campaigns.
Campaigns, yes, thank you. So, and what was interesting is they broadcast these Senate hearings on the TV, and some of these people didn't even know they were getting money from SBF. So that's to me is just there's a lot behind it. There's a lot more. I think they both definitely took a plea deal. Nick, what would one in your mind take the plea deal for? I mean, they're going to get jail time, but do you think it's to? I don't know. It's a lot wrapped into this.
So the question is, are they going to get jail time? Or are
Correct.
they going to go into, let's say, protective custody and,
Right.
Go to a safe house somewhere, new identities, or just a lesser sentence, right? I'm not sure these two might not see prison time as such, but they may just get, house somewhere, new identity, and carry on as you are kind of guy.
So breaking news as we speak, Sam Bankman-Fried to be released on $250 million bail.
What?
Yep. I'm telling you.
Where is that
now,
article? Put that shit in the chat real quick. I want to read that article while we're on here.
I'm telling you now.
250 million.
He is never going to show up to give any information. I'm telling you now, like, you can't make this shit up.
Who's fronting his bail?
I can't share it. It's on Twitter and it's through. Let me just find the
$250 million bail. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah,
I want to know who's fronting that.
It's from Watch Guru.
Okay. I'll look it up.
Powerful friends at the end of the day.
Yeah, look, he wasn't getting it in the Bahamas, was he? So now he's in the US, he can get it, right?
This one, let's see. This also came in. It says the hearing has ended. Judge Gorenstein has scheduled SBF's next court appearance for January 3rd, 2023. Let's see. This is from Chet Long on Twitter, which means Millions of people to buy gifts for their family this year because people spend the holidays with his parents in their luxury home. He's not out on bail, is he?
Well, he's been given bail. I
So
don't
he's
know. Like,
out.
I don't know the full details because it's breaking news. So
Oh, someone put up $250 million for him to get out.
That's
Well, I guess
exactly what
so.
I'm
That's what
asking.
you're
Who the
saying?
hell's fronting? Who's fronting $250 million to bail him?
Some mafia members so they could go kill
FTX custom. It's FTX customers. No, I don't know. I'm just like taking the piss. It'd be a mix of FTX customers through his mum and dad, and maybe Kevin O'Leary. Who knows? I mean, he's like
Kevin O'Leary
he's
is
the
a
poster
topic
boy
for
for him.
another day.
Yeah.
Wow, breaking news while on here. That's pretty incredible. That's great. All right, are we ready to move on from that, or do you want to continue? We can keep talking about it. But there are some other big news out there too that I think we wanted to discuss today regarding Terra Luna.
Too many people are talking about SBF at this point, right? Doesn't deserve any more airtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, F that guy. Piece of shit.
Yeah, let's move on to something that nobody ever talks about. We've never heard a lot about.
It's
ahead,
gone very
Jamie, what you
quiet
got?
after recent shit, right?
Go ahead.
Well, obviously, we're seeing here that South Korea are still chasing Terra Luna funds. I think was it $93 million they've frozen from known associates. So, is this all going to come back round full circle again? Are we going to see Luna, the whole debacle, happen all over again? They're still chasing a hell of a lot of money here.
So it says Korean prosecutors closed in on several individuals believed to have profited $93 million from the early Luna sales. What? So is it because that maybe they knew that was going to happen, that they profited? Like, why are they getting I don't understand why they're getting prosecuted or why they're being chased down.
It's because it happened. So they sold before everything was public. So they're basically like insider trading. They could exit their positions before anyone in public even knew there was an issue.
But is there regulation to even say insider trading is not allowed?
I'm going to assume that since they have been had their assets frozen, I'm going to assume there's something over there that does prohibit that.
Right.
I mean, we're seeing a couple other things. Obviously, this has came off the back of Terra Labs co-founder David Shin. His assets were frozen on similar suspicions. He's since been investigated. So has all this came off the back of his investigation? Obviously, they're not contacting Do-Kwon. He's allegedly in Serbia, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what it says.
The latest report. So there's obviously some form of an investigation still going on, and a lot of shit still coming off the back of it. And like everything else, Voyager, Celsius, which again, big news that's happened there. There's no end in sight anytime soon for this.
Is there additional news on the Voyager Celsius thing besides Binance wanting to buy the assets from Voyager? Is there more than that, Chris?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Was there something that was it just us kind of just chit-chatting about the potential of him buying Celsius assets? That was just like speculation, right?
It's speculation, but it's based from a reliable source that this is happening. So my understanding is Binance may have put in a first bid for Celsius assets, but we're not really going to hear any more news until the second round of bids, basically.
What's Alex up to these days?
I don't know.
So Do-Kwon's off somewhere, doing whatever Do-Kwon is doing, chilling with a pile of cash. SBF is out on a $250 million bail, chilling, doing whatever. Yeah, JB?
I've just read another article here, and it's now saying that South Korea have asked Interpol to issue a red notice for Do-Kwon's arrest and to be extradited to South Korea upon finding him.
I don't think they could do it, though. It says right here, CEO Do-Kwon is suspected to be living in Serbia, a country that does not have an extradition treaty with South Korea.
But if it's ran through Interpol can they can authorize the detention of him and the extradition.
We'll
Who's Alex, Nick? Who's Alex? I'm sorry.
CEO of Celsius.
Oh, what's going on with that guy?
Well, I don't know. That's the question, right? It's gone very quiet, just like it did with Do-Kwon.
Did he have charges brought against him?
I was going through the bankruptcy stuff. I don't think so. but it is all kind of poised as a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, look,
parts
these people need to be brought to justice. I've kind of said like this for a long time. Hacks, people that manipulating and losing customer funds need to be held accountable. Like, people need to be receiving punishment, like, and it needs to be severe. They need to make an example of these individuals, so it puts people off doing it in the future, instead of like, a hacker hacking a protocol and getting $100 million of like tokens, and the protocol going, you know what, give us 80 back, you keep 20. That isn't a punishment. That isn't acceptable. And that is what's happening in this space. You're basically making it acceptable, and it's just ridiculous. It needs to change. Like, there needs, I think I watched and I don't align with a lot of what this guy says, but the top G, what's his name, Andrew Tate, and he was saying that if he was in power in the UK, he would set up like a prison like in the Middle East somewhere in a desert, and these people that are caught with a knife in London, for example, would be shipped over there, and they would do their time, and they would film it, so and interview them and stuff, so people can see how bad it is, so it puts people off. There needs to be something that is a deterrent to stop people from doing this stuff. Sounds really extreme, but I do align with that. There needs to be...
I think a lot of people are just getting a slap on the wrist right now.
Like in the UK, like, the prisons are full. That's what we get told. Like, as a civilian that is, had a crime committed against them, and it might not be a big crime, the police just say the prisons are full, there's not really much we can do. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's lawless over here in the UK.
Nick, going back to what you were saying about Ponzi scheme, are you thinking that all of the shit that's happened this year is all connected? Like,
no, not necessarily. My point here is that it's a big deal, right? Things blow up and all this shit happens, and then it goes quiet, right? It's no longer a headline. No one really talks about it. Then the next big thing blows up, and then it goes quiet, and then the next big thing, and all I'm doing is just go full circle. Let's go back. Let's remember who fucked everyone, right? And let's not forget those names, and let's not forget the lessons that were learned on that journey. Essentially, that's where I'm trying to go with that. I don't think that Celsius had some kind of impact on, or Luna had some kind of impact on Celsius. I mean, to a degree, obviously, because they're all kind of trading assets amongst each other to a degree, right? But I don't think it's deliberate in that sense, and not all working together to fuck every retail investor out there. But I think it's important that we all remember who did what and what lessons we all learned from that.
Yeah, like, everyone's really quick to forget what's happened in the past. Like, in the next bull run, very few people are going to talk about and know about FTX. There'll be so many new people that come in the space. They won't understand. Honestly, it'll be like silly, not silly questions, but like questions from people that, haven't been in the market, really basic questions.
I mean, I'm going to shout out the crypto boys here as well, TDS Link, whatever, but they covered it a while back as well when they had Chase on. Obviously, they read into the whole Voyager thing, and they covered this as well, and they touched on the fact that Voyager, when there was a possibility that Voyager were going to come back, that folk are going to come back into the space, if not wanting to be involved in the bear market, they're going to come straight back into Voyager and not knowing what had happened. And it's the exact same problem that you're going to face there, that they're coming into an entity that's fell, is starting to come back up again, and the same thing could happen all over again. It's just the horrible cycle of that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think what I was kind of bringing up to Nick is that, and maybe this is just for everyone, what if, I like the what ifs, SBF manipulated all of the shit to actually happen, right? Because I think they were saying that SBF essentially helped the collapse of Terra Luna in a way, right? And then that shit steamrolled into Voyager and Celsius issues. And now, finally, the biggest issue of all the issues that created all this loss, God, how many trillions of dollars got lost this year in crypto space is disgusting. All of it stems back to one piece of shit human being named Sam Bankman-Fried.
It's more than one. Like you got Caroline.
Yeah, but he's the top. You know, if you were to list it on a pyramid, at the top is this dickhead, right? Like this guy right here, stupid piece of shit. Sorry, we're definitely not getting monetized on this one, by the way.
What I would say is, we shouldn't just pin it all on Sam. I think Sam is.
No, I agree.
Sam is the one that's going to take the brunt of it, is the fall guy, like, and his parents are just going to get off like probably scot-free or close to scot-free, right? And you know, these other two, they've obviously, you know, got an absolute, you know, solid deal, right? And pled guilty, but they're all in this, and they're all equally as bad as individuals because they knew it was happening,
and they still did it. Yeah.
Yeah, they still did it. They
Right.
You know, why didn't they call it out earlier? Why didn't they like stop it before it happened? Like they're all as bad as each other.
Yeah, because their bank accounts had hundreds of millions of dollars in it. That's all that greed is. The biggest, the ruler of all evil is greed.
Yeah. 100%.
And there you go. Yep. So okay, how do we move on from this? JB, you're muted, my friend. I can't hear anything you're saying. There you are. What's up?
What I was going to say was I love how we moved away from talk about SBF to talk about 𝗗𝗏 because we didn't want to talk about SBF anymore, and we came round full circle and spoke about SBF again.
Well, it's hard not to. I mean, it's hard not to right now.
There you go.
I think it's
Circle
the
of
market.
shit.
I think it's the market though. Like it is all intertwined. Like all of this stuff. Like, you know, and it does all kind of fall back to FTX in a way because, you know, that they were a big part of what happened with Luna, which means they were a big part of what happened to Celsius and Voyager, and Grayscale and Genesis and Gemini and BlockFi and all these others. You know, and I don't think we're done with it all yet.
What's most terrifying, and I hope you guys agree with me and you see my point here, is that all of the assets that are frozen from FTX and frozen from Celsius and all that, none of that shit's back on the market yet.
No.
Like,
And
you know what? It's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, but what's also a lot of money is the amount of cryptocurrency that China hold, the amount of crypto that the US government hold, and that isn't on the market just yet either, and it's in the billions.
So what would make me as a newcomer to crypto want to ever get involved in this space?
The possibility of huge gains, because this is the next iteration of payments, the next iteration of data storage, computing power. It's the next iteration of like micro payments and the internet, and everything is going to go through blockchain. Think about this, right? If we're
a long ways away from that.
Oh yeah, look, I'm not saying that in a week or 2 weeks or, you know, 1 year's time all of this is going to come to fruition, but long term it will. And if we circle back to some of our really early videos, Nick, when we were talking about how we kind of imagined the future, talking about tokenized stocks, talking about tokenized property, talking about basically tokenized everything, and we will have tokenized securities, tokenized bonds, everything will be tokenized in the future. Everything will go on this technology and on the you know, the blockchain rails, and a lot of people won't even realize that it is blockchain. They won't even know. It'll be just like it was when they were sending payments from their bank. But you know what? It's 24 hours now, and I don't need to go down to the bank. It can all just be done on my phone app. You know, we're already part way there.
I'd say the average retail investor, for instance, say my brother-in-law, you know, I said, hey, look, man, ADA is getting down pretty close. I think you should take a look. He's like, I'm done with crypto, man. I'm not getting back involved. And it sucks to hear that, because with all of the shit news about everyone losing all kinds of money and, you know, hey, hurry up, get your stuff off the exchange just in case the exchange goes down, etc. The average retailer, you know, middle class, you know, they don't even want to get near this shit right now. So I think without the framework of regulation and without that being like broadcasted out to the world that like, look, this shit is now regulated. It can't be controlled by everyone. On the flip of what I'm saying, though, regulation brings centralization, and the whole concept behind all of this was to have decentralized everything.
Yeah.
So,
But everything that's decentralized will have an element of centralization at some point. It has to, you know, even if it's a decentralized voting mechanism, it comes into a central point. Like, it just does. And you know, I don't think that's something that's gonna change. And look, you know, the market will turn and it will go positive, and all of these people will, you know, knowingly or unknowingly get into cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. They might not even realize that they're in it. And by the time that people knowingly that have been in the space and have left get back into it, it'll be the time that the big money, the institutions, the governments are ready to say, you know what, people, it's okay for you to buy now. We've already done our buy-in. Yeah, and you can be our exit liquidity, right? And that's when all these people that left will come back. It happens every cycle.
Well, I love how you and Nick are just so calm through all of this, and it's like, we're all here. This is our. I think I would say probably a lot of the people in the Discord, this is the first bear market. It's my first bear market, right? It is a terrifying fucking experience. I will tell you that, because you have tens of thousands of dollars on the line, right? You don't want to fuck that up. Okay. Like, even when you feel like you've bought the bottom, that motherfucker still drops another fucking 30%. And you're like, man, I thought I bought the bottom. What happened? It's scary. But on the flip of that, once the bull market zooms, that percentage is not going to feel like anything. That thing's just going to skyrocket, right? Nick, I see you shaking your head.
Yeah, like, you know, people get too fixated on, have I bought the bottom? Have I not bought the bottom? Right.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, all you really need to do is get close.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to try to time the bottom. And you can obviously just, you know, look for trend reversals instead. And it's quite relaxing when you take a different approach.
Whatever. None of this shit's relaxing. Come on.
You've seen the roller coaster. The cinema with Mr. Bean, and it's like that. You know, it's throwing him around in the seat, and he's just eating his popcorn, and there's all these people flying around. That's the bear market.
I mean, it feels brutal. And so, to the average retailer out there, trust me, myself and JB, who I would say JB and I are both average retail. We don't include that with Chris and Nick because those guys are on a different level. But I mean, to me, this shit's been scary, but we've navigated it thanks to Nick and Chris in the Discord and the community and everyone kind of doing it well, you know, continuously saying, hey, look, it's going to be okay. It's going to keep going down maybe a little bit. Just DCA if that's what you feel comfortable with. Or like Nick just said, wait for trend and then wait for the reversal and buy that dip. So, you know, it's easy. If you just put those words up on a bulletin board and you just read those, I think every day would be easy. But then, you know, like I look at Sandbox today, it's going to down to like 42 cents. Dude, I was buying Sandbox at like $7. So I'm looking at it today like that's cheap as shit. So JB, go ahead. I cut you off for the 7th time today. Sorry.
It's so good. I do not mind. I've thoroughly enjoyed the bear market. It is indeed my first one, but I think you stay cold, you stay calm, take emotion out of the equation. It's preached on here so often. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And then my newfound skills with Elliott Wave, I'm still practicing them. But when you put all this together, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to where it's going, because I know we're just scooping up lower and lower and lower. I don't see any problems right now. Obviously, that's the wrong thing to say. There's lots of problems right now, but I'm thoroughly enjoying this bear market. I think it's really good.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back like months back, what were we saying? Stay engaged throughout the bear market. You know, if you're invested in crypto and you still hold cryptos, you know, the bear market, you have to be engaged. Can you imagine if you weren't engaged throughout all of this and you hold it, you know, you were holding FTT or your crypto was on FTX, or, you know, you were just earning interest in Celsius or Voyager and you weren't engaged? Like, you know, the stuff that we've been putting out is like, it seems really simple stuff now looking back, but, you know, I think we're one of few channels saying that sort of stuff.
I mean, I've told you guys this as well, like people in my personal life, they're no idea about crypto. They're just getting into it, and they come and ask, like, what's going on here? What's there? Are you not worried about what's happened there? And I was like, well, no, because if you were here this period of time ago, you knew this was all coming to happen. And then obviously these big things do happen. They weren't forecasted, but you then reevaluate everything that's going on. And it plays into what we're looking at. I have a couple of people messaging me saying, we've seen what's going on in China. I was like, yeah, we do. We've seen this 3, 4, 5 months ago. We knew things were happening. And obviously now everything is starting to come into fruition. These things, as we do say, stay engaged in the space, because we've been forecasting something to happen. And now we're seeing these things start to happen. It's just staying on the point, just stay engaged. The bear market, this is where you make your money.
Yeah, that generational level wealth, as Chris so eloquently always says.
I like to remind people.
So I did. 𝗕𝗪𝗁𝗃𝗀𝗧 is the started Gemini. And there was an update put out yesterday on his Twitter that says earn update. Today, Houlihan Lokey presented a plan on behalf of the creditor committee to resolve the liquidity issues at Genesis and DCG and provide a path for the recovery of assets. This plan is based on information received from Genesis, DCG, and their respective advisors to date. Creditor committee expects an initial response this week. And then he posts right below that all of the Gemini.com. Basically, all the updates can be seen there in regards to all of the stuff going on. Yes, I'm immediately coming to you. Go.
So I'm just going to put it out there because I'm super cynical, right? But like, did it have small print at the bottom, like really, really small, saying I would like to sell some assets that I hold? So I'm putting this positive news out in order to build a pocket of liquidity so I can exit. Like, I just wonder if it's all just like BS, right? Like, just to install a little bit of confidence. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'm very cynical with like what anyone says that are in these positions now, because how many Sam came out, we've got liquidity, we're perfectly fine. What's his name from Celsius? Can't even remember his name. It's irrelevant anyway. He's a nobody.
I want
now.
to say 𝗓𝗓.
Alex, yeah. So Alex, came out and said that they were perfectly fine. BlockFi, I think, did at one point as well, like their executives did on Twitter. They've all said this stuff, and it was all just lies. So I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt, and maybe I'll go review and see if there's any small print that says that they're just doing it to build a pocket of liquidity. I'm terrible. I need to stop it.
Yeah, if you go on the actual thing,
Mike, you're not actually looking for small print, are you?
I am actually looking for small print. No, I'm not looking for small print. I'm looking at their frequently asked questions, and then how they explain kind of the background that Digital Currency Group, who is DCG, who I was just talking about, the parent company of Genesis, owes Genesis $1.675 billion, $1.1 billion in the form of a promissory note due in June of 2032, and $575 million in the form of an intercompany loan due in May of 2023. So, and then it goes on to talk about the FTX collapse, Genesis creditors made redemptions, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, you guys can go and read all of this on Gemini.com. But yeah, I think we'll see what happens with all that. Was it CZ possibly going to buy that? Was he going to buy the assets of Gemini, or no? Am I wrong on that?
No, you're wrong. It's not.
Okay.
It was just
Fix me then.
Yeah, it was just Voyager, and there's talks of Celsius. Speculation.
Wait a second. I'm pretty sure CZ came out and said that it would just be I'm gonna go look it up. Pretty sure it came out and said that it would be a conflict of interest to help fund that relief.
Not sure.
Pretty sure
I think in the early days, but like that was before all
correct.
This FUD. I think this is before all the FUD around Binance. What this does, right, from a PR perspective, is if he supports Celsius, he supports Voyager, like he's the savior of crypto. Like
who?
CZ and Binance, if they buy the assets and customers get their money back from Voyager and Celsius,
everyone will go there and trade.
Exactly. So like here, just look
brilliant marketing.
Yeah, exactly. So regardless of what he said in the past, it's irrelevant. Now it's a different landscape, it's a different picture. And I think it's purely for those reasons. And I think that would be a smart move.
You know what's fascinating is, you know how there's always the comparison of Amazon and Bitcoin, right? Like as their charts in the very beginning. I did not notice this the other day, that Amazon becomes the first company to lose $1 trillion in market value, the biggest loss in history. Holy shit, that's a lot of money.
It's not real.
We
though.
didn't. Yeah.
Like, this is
What
the
do you
thing that a
mean?
lot of people get this part wrong. Market cap. It's not real. It's not real dollars. Like you
Drop
can't
some knowledge on
liquidate-
us.
You can't liquidate everything like Thanos, right? You can't just do that. And there's not actually that much capital there. So you know, it's not real. It's just unrealized theoretical gains and losses. It's a
You know
game.
what?
That's
Nick
what
loves and
everything
is
went red, it went
fond.
sinister.
Yeah. Nick loves market cap. Market cap to Nick. He
Market
loves
cap.
it. Yeah.
Isn't this
But
what you deal with on the stream every day?
Pretty much.
He
But
loves it.
we just need to break it down, right? Just, and I say this to so many people, and if they ever do watch these things, they'll know that I'm talking about them. Think about it. I say, think about it. What is the calculation? How do you calculate it? And how would you, as an individual who's running, something, take meaning from that? A market cap is simply just the number of stocks by the price of the stock. But if you sell the stock, the price of the stock moves. So therefore, the market cap can't even be realized.
Yeah. Awesome.
Having conversations sometimes with you, Nick, hurts my brain.
Okay.
The element of how
I don't know how to articulate it any other way, but in crypto, it's a really pointless metric, and it's the same for stocks. It's the same for anything. Market cap, it's just a way to kind of make you feel that there's value there when there actually isn't.
A lot of value when there isn't a lot of value there.
So 1 trillion is really not like $1 trillion cash. It's more like
just think about the world's richest people, right? All their money is in stocks. They can't actually get their hands on it.
So
theoretically, they have all that money.
But they don't have it in their bank.
No, they need people to liquidate or to provide the liquidity for them to exit, right? We saw this with Elon Musk with $6.9 billion of Tesla stock that was sold so that he could buy Twitter, right? And that's deemed positive. Well done, Elon. Yes, absolutely fantastic. Yes, we'll take our money, take it, right? But essentially, no, it's a market cap. It's just theoretical unless someone actually fronts all that cash. You cannot liquidate everything instantaneously. The second that you drop a decent amount of supply on that market, the price tanks. Market cap tanks.
That's why Tesla's still falling. I mean, I think it's down like 12-13% because they took another 3.2 billion out,
right?
Or sold what's valued at $3.2 billion
at that time. Yeah, but it's just theoretical. It's just a giant game. Is what that is.
We'll have to leave JB out of this conversation.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
I mean, I dropped straight in here, straight from work. So
my bad.
I'll stay silent.
My bad. I totally forgot about that too.
No Tesla employees were hurt in the making of this video. Just
I'm totally happy to talk about the stocks. We talk about the stocks regularly for Tesla, and we see it's around about $130 just now. I mean, it's a good thing. It's a bad thing. We've seen the stocks drop heavily when the sell-off happened to buy Twitter. So, the stocks are on the floor, but what happens when stocks are down? They go back up at some point.
Yeah, eventually everything will go back up.
But didn't Elon Musk drop from the world's richest man as well?
He did periodically,
twice.
But
he flipped it a couple of times. Yeah. And again, it's because it's just numbers.
The richest man is probably somewhere in Saudi, and he doesn't talk to anyone, speak to anyone, and he's probably worth $1.9 trillion. Honestly, that's probably where that is.
It seems like you know him.
Yeah.
Is he one of your friends?
No, he created Bitcoin. Right? He's a myth. Last thing I just brought this up, and I don't know how important or big this is. So, Chris, I wanted to ask you, 𝗕𝗄𝗪 votes to integrate Chainlink proof of reserves to tighten network security. Although the decentralized leading protocol's data is inherently on-chain, introducing Chainlink's POR would help mitigate the risk of attacks on the Aave protocol. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's really positive for both chains. 100%. It's not going to be like price moving, but it's definitely technically, like from a technical point of view, a move in the right direction. 100%.
And it's good to see something positive coming out. Well, it's good to see something behind security starting to come out. Like the protocols are actually starting to like use their fucking brains and, you know, use things that actually are going to protect people. So I think that's great. Yeah, the vote passed 99 point, just says 99% in favor. So
yeah, it's like, great. Would you like to have tighter security of my funds? Yeah, I'll vote for that. 100%.
Exactly.
Like, who's not? Who's that 0.005% people? Who are they?
All right, let's wrap things up. And while we wrap things up, I'd love to get, I know we're going into the holidays here, but we are ending the year. So Nick, would love to get your thoughts on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, altcoins, etc. And you can make it short and sweet and to the point. What your thoughts are going into the end of the year.
So I expect a move upwards, probably within the next week or so, probably retail driven, nothing more than bottoms in, fantastic to the moon. Let's get that liquidity in for the whales. And then we go in Q1 and we come crashing right back down again. That's where I think it's going.
Fantastic. All right, let's give some final thoughts. Chris, give me your final.
Okay.
I can hear you beautifully, my friend. No coughing at all.
Yeah, look, final thoughts from me. I just kind of feel like the market's still got some downside. Preserve capital, kind of say it all the time. First thing, closely followed by try to make some money in this market.
Oh, wait, before we get to JB's final thoughts, Chris, you said something really important the other day to us when we hopped off, was about people need to start getting their projects in order. Like, know what you're going to buy. Don't buy it yet. Not financial advice, but know what projects you want to invest in going into the next bull market. Can you touch on that, please?
Yeah, I do think it's really important. So I think, you know, we're pretty close to the bottom. We're not at the bottom yet, but we're pretty close to it. It's really important to know what projects it is you're going to purchase. Okay, we've had all this time to do research. You know, we've done over 270 project reviews. We do AMAs twice a week for Patreon members. You've got the courses, how to build a portfolio, the Elliott Wave Theory, you know, Elliott Wave Theory coaching, all of this stuff from the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗠school.com. You kind of set up now, but you need to know what projects you're going to invest in. And the reason why I say this and why it's so important to know and have a plan and set your goals and your aspirations is because if you don't, the bottom will come in soon and you won't be prepared, and you'll be looking at this project at this price and it looks really juicy, and there'll be a project over here and that looks like really good value. And, you know, George over at, you know, Cryptos R Us has said it's an amazing project, and, you know, you're like, oh, I best buy it now. Yeah. Or so just some BS like that, right? And you're kind of going to end up with a portfolio all over the place. Have a plan, stick to it, and be successful.
Yeah, I think that you guys came out with those courses right in the nick of time, right? To get people kind of like ready for this next little cycle. And look, if you miss the bottom, like Nick said, trend up and then it'll come back down. You buy that dip right there. So, you know, you don't need to be in a hurry. I need to tell myself that all the time. I need to just chill out, stop buying shit whenever I feel like, but sometimes I just feel like the price is good enough for me to buy it at, right? Like I bought 𝗕𝗪 at what, $1.30. I'm okay buying it at 22 cents. It's fine. So anyways, JB, final thoughts, my friend.
Probably the same as always, guys. Just if you're going to trade safe, risk management, stop loss, very tight, very secure. Money off exchanges, get it into a wallet. On the courses, you know, I've done now both courses. You know, I think they're so like valuable for what you're actually getting here. They're fantastic. I've got a couple of trades on just now off the back of the Elliott Wave course. So I'm going to see how they play out to get myself some more confidence here. I've loosely spoke to Chris about a different course that I think may be a good idea, may come out soon. Probably not a course, maybe just like an instructional video. Basically, how to understand crypto for maybe if you're just new into the space, what is crypto, what is everything that's going on. So I think there's a few things in the pipeline. Just stay engaged, guys. There's a lot going on.
I think I'll be the first one to sign up for that course. Nick, I know you gave us your thoughts on Bitcoin and stuff, but can you give the average investor some of your final thoughts?
Look, you're not going to buy the bottom. You're in the same way that you're not going to sell the top. Get to a number that you're comfortable with. Have a plan and a strategy on how high you think that particular project can go. Execute said plan. Let's not get emotional about it. Just create the strategy and the plan of what you want to do. Buy at said price, sell at said price, and chill out, relax, enjoy it. This people get too stressed out because they allow the emotional aspect enter into this space. So try to avoid that. Look at it from a purely black and white point of view. How high do you think a project can go? Where that value is? At the moment, most projects that we look at are 95% from their previous all-time high. Do you think they're going to be going to another all-time high? Do you think they can go to at least their previous all-time high? And in which case, are you happy with a 10x? Right? These kind of things. Most people are. Right? Most people look at it and say, yeah, if I times my money by 5, I'm a pretty happy lad, right? So buy in, sit back, wait, how quickly you want to turn that money around is the only other part of the equation. Are you looking super short term, like within 12 months, you want to see that return of 5x? Then, you're probably going to have to go into more riskier assets. And if you've got more of a longer term horizon, then you can be less risky with your investment choices. So make it as logical as you can and avoid the emotion. I'll leave it there.
Appreciate that. Very good. Very good sound advice from all three of you great crypto minds. All right, we're going to wrap things up there. Thank you so much for listening in. Make sure you smash that like and please just hit that subscribe button because we're approaching 2,500, I believe. Or are we above 2,500? I think we're getting close to 2,500. Anyways, just smash the freaking subscribe button. Okay. And we'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.